Hey guys, Zip 2001 from Just Ride. Hey, winter finally came back. We got some snow yesterday. Wet, heavy snow with tons of ice underneath it because we've had like a 2.5 week span of just crazy warm temps freezing. All the snow went down and all the hiker footprints are now ice. Then there's some glass ice, which I call it. I mean, it's just crazy underneath this snow now. So if you follow me and seen any of my videos, I run studded tires for the winter, but this winter I have a set of chains. Those have really come in handy on some of the crazy conditions that I've run into over this little thaw and stuff. Because everything is just crazy ice, rooted, and I did a trail with tons of rocks and roots and ice everywhere. And man, those chains were absolutely fantastic on that route. Absolutely fantastic. I would not have trusted it with the studded bike. If I had taken the studded bike on that trail, I would have been close to 3 psi on my tires, but then I would have risked damaging a rim. But I would have needed that low PSI to make sure I was taking advantage of every single stud grabbing into the ice. Where the chained fat bike, I had the front at 15 PSI, the back at 17 PSI, and wow, once I got used to the feel, I mean, wow, I was way more confident on the ice and was way more willing to get a lot more speed on that ride than what I would with the studded tires. So for more aggressive ice and on the trails and stuff like that, I'll be using the chains. When you need a little less aggressive, then I'll go with the studs. If you're thinking about the chains, here's what you got to look at. You've got to make sure, excuse me, you have a 1/2 inch clearance all the way around between your tire on each side, between your tire and the frame and the fork, which I do because the side here where the chains are, that adds about 1/4 inch to each side of the tire. These are 4.5s. So I had all that clearance, so I was fine. The mistake I made that I didn't check was the clearance when I'm up in my climbing gear. That's my highest climbing gear there on the Giant Yukon 2. See, there's nothing rubbing at all. Don't do this, try and make sure you're always pedaling, but I did it anyways. Here it is when I go into my climbing gear. You hear it? See it? I lost my climbing gear. I never checked that out when I bought them. That was my fault. I had this wheel and these chains on the Giant Yukon 1, and I lost 3 of my climbing gears. So 1x11, 1x10. So I lost, if I run the chains on the fatter tire on that Yukon, I lose 3 climbing gears. I lose 1. So I already have a smaller tire coming in, fat bike tire coming in, and then I won't lose any gears on either one of the bikes if I transfer it over. So I'll run the chains on that. That was, like I said, that was absolutely my fault not checking that out. If you're going to do it, check it out. As far as price goes, well, look, it's not easy nowadays. Bike stuff is so expensive. I don't know what the fat bike, the 4.5 studded tires are anymore. I don't know what the price are. But these I've had for a while now. And these were $220 a piece. So that's $440. These chains delivered to me were $151. So, you know, price-wise, can't beat it. like I said, I'm going to use those chains for real aggressive stuff out there. And I'll use the studs for more mild stuff. Which I'm going to run into that all winter long anyways, the way it's been going. So, you know, if that's something that interests you, and if you have a region where you have a lot of ice, then man, it's a no-brainer. Chains over studs. But if you're gonna mix, you can always have, that's an all-terrain tire on here. It's not a winter tire. You can always have a winter tire in the chains, and then when you don't need the chains, you got a winter tire with a more aggressive knob on it and gripping. You can do that because, like I said, you can see these are winter. So do your research, find what works for you. But tell you what, I'm super happy with the chains. I think it was a really good investment. Like I said, 151 bucks. You know, that was for me, it was a no-brainer. I did try the chains out on Brother Rick's bike last week because he's looking at them. He has a fat bike. He has a 27.5 by 4.5 tires, just like I do. And one of the things he checked right away was the clearance when he was in his climbing gear to the tire. Well, he had no problem. He had the clearance, so he's like, "Cool, that's great." We put it on. Guess what? He didn't have the clearance here. So you've got to make sure the frame clearance is there. Like I said, at least a ½ inch on each side, and on the climbing gear. So his was totally different. He has a Da Vinci. He had the chain to tire clearance when he's in his highest gear. He didn't have the rear triangle clearance. He had the fork clearance, but he didn't have the rear triangle clearance. So check those out before you do anything. So, hey, I hope you're having a great winter. I know I'm glad to see winter back. It was just a crazy 2.5 weeks for a while. Still got out, but not the same without snow, without a lot of snow covering everything. So I can't wait for my long hike tomorrow, and I'll be on the trails on Tuesday. Woo, remember, stay safe and just ride. Woo! Yeah, baby.